We're live. Hello. Hello from Tallahassee, Florida, from Century 21, First Story Real Estate. My name is Tatyana Grigorian, and I'm a real estate agent here in Tallahassee. And this is Thalia.
Thalia McClendon from Century 21 as well, First Story.
Yes, so we decided to go. So this is our new channel, and we start. It's our first live video, so excuse us that we are kind of new to all of this.
Right. We're giving it a few minutes for everyone to be able to jump on in.
Yes, we just decided quickly. It was just kind of like explom decision to go live, and that was just you watching us. And today's topic, let me open our topic. See, our topic today is 10 turnoffs for potential buyers. So the market is booming, right? It's kind of slowing down a little bit, right? And after showing so many houses, there's some things that are definitely turnoffs. So potential sellers need to think about it before they let me just quickly do this, before they list their house and put it on the market for everybody to see. So let's start with our first one, Thalia.
So we were pretty much just having a conversation a little bit earlier and just talking about things that we've experienced with some of our buyers and, things that pretty much turned them off from purchasing the house that we were showing at the time. The pictures looked great, but then when we actually went in, it was a different scenario. So we want to just have a conversation about it and share some things that we have learned on the buyer side, and then also, like you mentioned, to help sellers.
Yes. So I would say the first thing on the list is going to be a cluttered and not prepared house. Whereas a lot of things like personal stuff, I want to say like toys, item clothes, like clothing everywhere, not prepared and cluttered house, because potential buyers, they want to be able to picture themselves in that,
right,
in that space. And when there's everything everywhere, it's really hard to do. So that's number one suggestion we give to our sellers, is to actually prepare, to put personal stuff away.
Yes, absolutely.
That's number one. And I want to say the thing that goes after that is a curb appeal.
Right.
It's actually the outside of the house.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, there's like overgrown,
weeds, bushes everywhere, trees, limbs, all on the driveway. You can barely walk into the property if you're tripping over the branches or, walking through mile-high grass. So
exactly,
that's a huge factor when it comes to, the properties and the expectations. So a lot of times the actual the pictures that we'll look at online, it's a well manicured home, and then you come to the actual property, and if it's been on the market for a couple of months and they haven't been keeping it up, then you're going to see the difference between what was shown on the pictures and what you're seeing in person, where the grass, like I said, is really high, or you're seeing just it's the weather has taken its toll pretty much with some of the properties.
And yes, because just remember that the first impression,
right,
it's a first impression, and it's really important. So let's keep up our like front yard, backyard, and everything around the house nice and nice and clean. What's next on the list?
So the next thing I have had some personal experience with, I'm sure you as well, Tatyana, pets in the house, and then different scents. If you know me, then you know that I have a very sensitive nose. And so I've gone to different showings and taken, the buyers with me, and we've gone into houses that smells completely of pets. And I even had one showing where the pet was loose in the house.
Oh,
And the
that's a
dog
big
was
no.
just like running around, and then we had a cat that was following us. And that was a complete turnoff for the buyer because they're just like, you don't get the opportunity to really experience
Mhm.
um, the home and, look around and see what you do like and what you don't like because you have a animal that's just walking behind you or barking,
Yes.
from the room. So it's important for sellers to really put their animals away. If you have a cage, put it in the cage if you know that you have showings that are scheduled for that point in time.
Plus, like some potential buyers might be afraid
Yeah,
dogs. They
yeah,
might had bad experience with them, and they will be
yes,
thinking only about that animal in the house.
exactly. And you can't even
Yes.
focus. I mean,
Yes.
I personally do not like being followed by, dogs. I'm like,
Yeah.
if it's in the cage, we're cool. But if it's walking behind me and trying to, deal, no, I'm
Yes.
not, I'm not, I'm not fond of that.
Yeah.
But so the other thing, like I said, strong scents. Use air fresheners. Like I love going into homes that have been sprayed, like they smell good.
Yes.
They're using, nice scents. So you're not walking into a house. And then also, the buyer's keeping in mind the fact that these homes are not being lived in. And so you may have scents that kind of come up over the course of time.
Yeah.
And that's
Exactly.
just a natural thing that happens if you're not occupying the house. If it's vacant, it's possible. But
Yes.
that's the reason why it helps to have plugins. Like go to Bath and Body, put some nice, lavender scents in the house, just something that's going to be
Something
more
nice.
appealing
Yes.
to the buyer coming in instead of them having to like close their nose or
I
like,
agree.
yeah, just
Yes.
nice scents. It helps. It helps us, and then it also helps the buyer want to,
And
be
helps the
attracted to your
seller to
house.
sell it faster.
Exactly.
Sell it faster. Yes. So let's use neutral kind of
Right.
air fresheners in the
Absolutely.
house. Yes.
It helps all of us.
Yes. What's the next tip we have? Have owner present.
Okay, so owner presence. This can be a little tricky. Some people, it's kind of like when you're shopping in the mall. So sometimes you want to shop by yourself. You don't want to have the sales associate standing behind you, like, do you need some help? Do you
Hate
want
it.
me to do this? Like sometimes you just want to be off to yourself, have your own thoughts, and not be bothered by someone who feels like they're over your shoulders.
Mhm.
That's sometimes the vibe that buyers can feel if the owner is present of the actual house. And so you might find that, they either just didn't realize that there was a showing, so that
Mhm.
sometimes happens. So they may be home while the showing is happening. Um, and then sometimes you have very eager sellers who want to be a part of the whole process. They want to tell you about,
Yes.
how in 1992 they made some updates to the home, and they want to tell you how special the house is to them, and
Yeah.
everything like that. But it can be a turnoff to a buyer because they may
Yes.
not be interested in hearing some of that
Yeah, I
conversation.
think this happens a lot probably with for sale by owners.
Yes, absolutely.
Because usually agents they educate their sellers
Yeah,
of do's and don'ts kind of,
right.
So that one is just please leave the house for the buyers. Let them go from room to room and just like
Yes,
picture themselves in that house. That's gonna really help. And with that topic being for sale by owner, we have another topic. It's about safety.
yes, safety.
Yes, yes, that's the one major thing. That's why it's important, I think, to work with the agent,
Yeah,
because we have the system that's going to protect both and sellers and buyers
right.
walking
Exactly.
into a stranger home.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's a good point. I actually had a personal experience years ago when my husband and I were looking for our property. It was a for sale by owner situation.
Mhm.
We hadn't gotten pre approved or anything. And the
Yeah.
owners were just willing to let us in their house, look around, and we're like, oh, okay, this is nice.
Yes.
We weren't prepared to purchase at that point in time, but I thought about it later on and I was like, wow, that's a safety concern because you don't know who you're allowing to come into your home. We could have been,
Yeah.
anybody. And
Yeah.
because they wanted to sell the house, they trusted that, okay, we would be decent people and not hurt them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's not everyone. So you really have to, be mindful of the safety aspect.
Yes.
Now, another thing that I experienced on the buyer side when it comes to safety, I was doing a virtual showing.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you've ever experienced a virtual showing, the reality is you're going to hear everything that happens. You're not going to be able to, just look around and see what's going on in the background of the actual showing. And so the buyer was on the phone, and the next thing you know, whether it was fireworks, I'm not exactly sure, but it was like loud booming sounds in the background. And so the buyer was like, "What's that sound?" And I'm like, "I think it's fireworks," but I couldn't confidently say because I couldn't see it either. And he was like, "No, let's move on to another property. Let's go to another house," because he was like, "If there's sounds like that are happening right now, I'm not willing to explore and see what happens in the future."
Yes.
So, some of those things you can't control, because the reality is if someone's doing fireworks, random
Mhm.
times during the day, you won't know that. You just kind of schedule the
Definitely.
showings. But things that you can control, just on the seller side, means being mindful of the
Yeah.
safety aspect.
Yeah, definitely. Well, next turn off is going to be its busy roads,
Yeah.
or when the house is close, let's say, to school, middle school, elementary, high school. So if you're a potential buyer and you have school age
Yeah,
kids,
kids. Mhm.
so that's going to be a plus for you when you have to go like to drive long time kind of to get kids to school. But if you not that type of family,
Right.
busy morning traffic probably is going to be an issue for
Yeah,
you,
absolutely.
or if it's house to a busy intersection. Usually, before I show houses to buyers, I work with them and I ask them, what you're
Mhm.
looking for,
Right.
what you need, what's your priority. Do you need to be close to a hospital,
Right. That's
shopping
good.
centers, to
Mhm.
schools, to kid cares, so
Right.
it's, or maybe downtown where you work, where your office is. So this is one of the number one, just to know beforehand, like busy road, like interstate.
Right.
It's a huge turn off for them.
It definitely can
Definitely,
be.
yes. Next one, I would say when the price doesn't match the expectations. Because, yes, so as we talked before, the market is busy and a lot of houses going to market.
Right.
People trying to sell. So I had couple experience like this. So when I went with my buyer to show the house, price was, that was a good price, I would say.
Right.
And we walked in and everything's outdated.
Yeah.
Everything is outdated, and the house next door was sold at the same price range. But I told them, did you see
Right.
what was inside, what that house had to offer?
Yeah.
So that's a big turn off for them.
Yeah.
Yes, when they expect something, and that's going to come up with outdated homes, and also with the marketing for those houses.
Yes.
We talked
Absolutely.
before with Thalia just the other day about how realtors market those houses when they take pictures, and that's a big deal for us, because
Right.
I had buyers who would look on MLS, on Zillow. I would send them links, and they saw pictures, and they're like, "Oh, that's a beautiful house.
Right.
Let's take a look at it." We would schedule showing, and they were in shock how different pictures was from the reality.
Right.
Because now we live like we talked, that we live in age of, like, in the digital age.
Right. Filters everywhere.
Filters everywhere. We all use filters. Yes, right, right. So the same with houses. The
Mhm.
same with everything. And some realtors and some photographers, they use digital staging,
Right.
and nothing wrong with it, because some people would like to see where to put a couch, a
Right.
dining table, and it helps them to kind of feel the house, feel like have the sense of like how big the room, and it's nothing wrong with this. But
Mhm.
when they overdo those things,
Right.
you know,
Yeah. Absolutely.
that's a big turn off, because I had an experience with the buyers. They came like, it's not what we were expecting.
Right.
The
Yeah.
price was high, house was outdated, pictures was different from the reality. That was a big turn off for them.
Right.
Let's use Photoshop, let's use digital staging, but let's keep it as real as possible. Let's
Yeah.
kind of like showcase the best features of the house, but
Mhm.
let's keep it real. I
Right.
think that's important
Yeah.
thing to do.
And
What else we
even
have?
to kind of add to that,
Yeah.
buyers can feel like they're being catfish.
Mhm.
Like, you have something that, even comparing it to dating, you have a picture, then when you get to the actual person, it's like, this is not what you told me you look like.
Yes,
And so
exactly.
immediately you have that, yeah,
Yes.
let's go.
Let's
And it's
move
the
on.
same, concept in real estate, because they're like, this is not what you told me it looked like. And it's an immediate turn off. So, yeah.
Yes, because photographers, they use, let's say, like different angles of lenses,
Right.
wide angle lens, and it's normal if you need to take a picture of a half bath and it's
Right.
tiny, perfectly fine. But when you use this to enlarge kind of like a driveway
Right.
or overall appearance, and
Hmm.
your buyers come like, it's tiny driveway, I thought it was
Yeah.
going to be
Like huge.
huge. Yes,
Yeah.
this
And
is,
okay.
yeah, so on the opposite.
So even with that, like the expectations, since we're also talking about the buyer side, understanding that when you're looking at these pictures, it's not always going to look exactly how the picture shows. Like,
Yes.
there's going to be some differences, and like, you mentioned the digital age. There's
Hmm.
going to be differences. So just kind of prepare yourself for that reality. There might be lower ceilings. They may look like the Taj Mahal on the actual
Yes.
picture, and then you come, it's like a tiny house. So it shouldn't be that drastic, but
Hmm.
just having a realistic expectation that what you're looking at may not look exactly like it looks in the
Yes, it
actual.
might look darker,
Yeah.
because it's like, now, like when you're showing the house, it's rainy day
Right.
and
Exactly.
it's gloomy day and it's like clouds outside, and you're like, why it's so dark? Well,
Yeah.
yes, because for the pictures they turn on lights, and
Yes.
maybe it was a sunny day, so
Hmm.
things will look different.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We have one more turn off. It's eclectic houses
Yeah.
with bright colors.
Yes. So the kind of like the mindset when you're selling your home, you should be able to appeal to different types of buyers. But you have some sellers who just don't care, and they love what they love. And hey, if that's you, no problem. But be ready for the reality that you may not have a lot of buyers that are attracted to your home.
Yes.
And so sometimes we'll see, I went into one house, and it was like kind of a 60s vibe in the home. So they had like a huge hot tub that was in the
Okay.
bathroom.
Yeah.
And the whole conversation while we were walking through the house ended up being like, I wonder what's happening in that hot tub. And, the hot tub was actually engraved with the name of the
Oh.
owners. And it looked like, yeah, it looked like there was a lot happening in that room.
Yeah.
So that became the whole conversation versus it being, okay, this is something I can actually live in. Sometimes we'll see like animal print.
Mm-hmm.
In one room, you might see like orange, yellow, blue, and purple.
Yeah.
Some people can't see past what they're being presented with. So if you have like someone who's willing to renovate,
Yes.
then they don't care what it looks like at all. But
Mhm.
if you have someone who is like,
Just want to live in there.
yeah, they just want move and ready. They don't want to paint. They don't want to do anything, which isn't really realistic because, most likely you're going to have to change the paint color. So be ready for that. But yeah, sometimes that can be an immediate turn off for some buyers because they're just like,
Yeah, just keep in mind that you need to keep
yeah,
it for an average buyer.
right.
Keep in
Exactly.
mind everything. So declare your house.
Yes.
Take as much like as personal items away.
Right.
Prepare it, clean it, make it smell fresh
Yes.
and appealing. Clean outside, create curb appeal.
Yes.
It's beautiful curb appeal. Let's say, and repaint those wild colors in your
Yeah.
house. Yes.
And wallpaper can be an issue too.
Yes.
Like, we'll walk into some houses that may have been built,
Yeah.
say like 1980 or 70s or something. And
But they're coming back.
yeah,
Like they're making coming back, but it's
nice wallpaper. Yes.
different print.
Yes.
You can tell it's a new thing.
Yes.
But
absolutely.
yeah. But the wallpaper from 80s, yes.
Yeah. With the flowers and the
half
weird.
wall.
Yeah. It's always the half wall.
Yes, it's always half wall.
So yeah,
Yes.
that's definitely true.
So those were our 10 turnoffs for the buyers.
Yes.
Thank you for coming to our first live. That was really exciting and kind of nerve-wracking for us, right, Thalia?
No, just kidding. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So if you have any questions, you can always send a message to us, or if there's any topic that you want to hear more about, or you have a concern, we're planning a lot of new topics about market, how it's going to change. We're going to invite some guests as well. So if you want to subscribe to our channel and like it.
Yes, subscribe to our channel so you can get updated information. And we're here in Tallahassee. So if you're in this area, Wakulla County, Monticello, Quincy,
Jefferson,
all of that, subscribe, because we're going to be putting out some informative content. Yes, because we want to share. Like, there's so much that happens that, we get to talk about amongst each other and
all the time, and we just decided, let's just put it out there, because there's so many things. Our city is growing.
Yeah,
it's growing and it's beautiful. Many new businesses coming up, and new construction, remodeling is booming as well.
Yeah,
a lot of people moving here, so we just decided let's talk about it.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Have a good weekend. It's Friday. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye. Yeah.